Good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you all may be on this good Sunday. Dev Campbell here. Just wanted to come and have a conversation. It's been a little while since I've been live. I've been traveling. I've been doing some work. I've been visiting with some family members and been enjoying life, been getting rid of a lot of stress, been getting rid of a lot of issues, a lot of negativity in my life. Been focusing on my health, my well-being. I do want to say that a few days ago, I checked my blood pressure just randomly, and it's the lowest that it's been in years. I mean, like years. I think it was like 139 over 90 or something like that. I have had some health issues over the past 8 months with diabetes, with high blood pressure. I've been hospitalized a few times. I've been in a diabetic coma. Um, I've, talked to you guys before about this um, some months ago, but I've been working on my health. This may sound crazy, but one of the things that I've done, I've stepped back from playing for multiple churches, and that has been one of the main reasons why I have a stress free life right now. Some of you guys may say that sounds crazy or whatever, but listen, some of the stuff that's going on with these churches, with these leaders, um, just dealing with folks that, they don't represent Jesus in their lifestyles. Um, they're Sunday morning only saints. That's what my mama used to call them. Um, it's crazy, But again, I'm losing weight. Working on my health, my body. I have a good nutrition plan, a good diet. I'm feeling wonderful. I am feeling wonderful. I refuse to continue in life to go around being a fat guy. Um, to be 5'11" and to be over 300 pounds is not healthy at all. So I'm down. I'm losing. I'm more than 40 pounds down from where I was, and I'm still continuing. My body goal is to get around 235, weight wise, and I'm on that goal. Drinking uh, about a case of water every 2 days. So I'm not doing any sweets. I've given up the cookies and the candies and definitely all the sodas. Pepsi and Mountain Dew and all that good stuff. So I thought at the time that was, helping to my demise. I've given that up. So, if I don't have a cup of coffee, maybe a cup of tea, I may have a, glass of orange juice or apple juice, but other than that, it's water. My smoothies, and I'm taking care of myself. So I'm feeling really good. I'm not even going to say excuse the fact that I haven't shaven or trimmed myself up. I'm living stress free, so I didn't feel like it, so I didn't do it. But I've been working. I've been out of town. Some of you may know I've been in California. I was there for about a little over 2 weeks. Um, First time I actually was out of town for the Christmas holiday, and it was amazing to be walking around Venice Beach on Christmas Day with 76-degree weather. That was a brand new experience for me. So it was wonderful. Got a chance to visit family out there. Uh, 2 weeks, well, just about 2 weeks. I was in North Carolina doing some work. So I got a chance to visit family out there, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. So I'm back home in Michigan. and regrouping and preparing to go back on the road to do some more work, some investigation work that I do. So it's all good. But I wanted to come today to have a conversation about some of these things that's in the media. I know you guys saw the thumbnail. Please like, subscribe to this channel, and let's talk about it because again, it's crazy, some of this stuff that's going on, and when I tell you, um, it's in the world today. You got folks that's just out of their minds. So we're going to talk about it. We're definitely going to talk about it. So one of the first things that I wanted to talk about is a story that I found pretty interesting, and it's it's sad, but it's interesting that you have certain people that get caught up in the same stuff over and over again, and it's almost like self sabotage. I don't understand it, but one of the stories that I wanted to talk about in Louisiana. It was a young lady that was working as a prison guard at one of the prisons there in Louisiana, and she was arrested for attempting to smuggle weed, meth, and heroin into the prison for the inmates. Now, this is not the first time that we've heard of guards, whether male or female, being used to be mules and smuggle in drugs, smuggle in cell phones. But like I said, this is not the first time, and I don't know of any correctional officer that has been successful in doing this. Their arrests, their court trials, their sentencings are all public because everybody eventually gets caught. And I don't understand why people keep doing some of the the stupid stuff that they do. Like, you know, having a law enforcement background, you have to have a clean record. So for you to have a clean record, get a job working in the Department of Corrections or law enforcement, and for you to be dumb enough, I mean, just dumb, to go on ahead and to not just lose your credibility, but to lose your freedom over inmates. Like what amount of money could they have offered you? Or what is it that they could have done or said to make you feel like I'll trade my clean life now for the life of a felon and someone who's going to be now an inmate? Because any type of infraction, any type of uh, violation that happens at these facilities or whatever the case may be, you're held to a higher standard. But not only that, you will be arrested and prosecuted and sentenced. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So yeah, some of the things like Arsenio Hall used to say when he had his talk show, things that make you go, I don't understand. That. Also, another story. We have a excuse me, NBA player, uh, Byron Forbes, who was arrested for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend. Again, this is not the first time we've heard of an athlete that, whether they were high, drunk, or just, too enraged, where they've assaulted a female. What is it nowadays with so many of these guys? I'm not gonna call them men because real men don't put their hands on women unless it's in an intimate or sexual way. But I don't understand why so many guys think it's okay, think it's actually cool in some manner to assault females. What is that? Like that doesn't prove masculinity. You don't have enough discipline to go on ahead and talk. If the conversation gets that heated, and I've been in some conversations with, you know, women that I've dated, my ex-wife, so on and so forth. But I've been in heated conversations where I just stopped talking. I left because I wasn't hearing you. You weren't hearing me. Nobody was getting their point across. It was just yelling. It was just low blows. It was just disrespect and being derogatory towards one another. So it's like, hey, I'm a disengage, and I'm just gonna leave. But I don't believe in, and I don't condone, or even deal with guys that want to put their hands on women. Like I don't get that. I don't get that because 99.9% of the time, most of these guys that's walking around that want to put their hands on women, that want to choke them up, slap them, beat them, do all that, disrespectful type, derogatory stuff, they wouldn't do that to a man. They wouldn't. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Um, I just pray that none of these type punks or guys ever decides to do those things to any of my daughters, um, because we're going to have a serious, very serious conversation, and it's not going to be what they expect, and it's not going to go the way they think it's going to go. Point blank. I think if some of these fathers, some of these daddies stepped up and protected their daughters, some of these uncles, some of these older brothers, um, and made it known that the real men are standing up and covering our women, whether it's your wife, your daughter, uh, whomever it may be, I think less guys would think it's cool to put their hands on them. But most of these punks, they only do that because they don't believe that these women have strong men that's covering them. So I think it's crazy. Um, God forbid it be my daughter. Uh, Another topic that's trending in mainstream media today: the 5 officers that beat and caused the death of Mr. Tyree Nichols. All of them are pleading not guilty. That is something that I find very, very interesting as well. Um, there were body cam recordings of what you guys done. Like, what could possibly be your legal defense where you can say you're not guilty of beating Mr. Tyree Nichols to death? Your contribution of physically assaulting him did not cause his death, and the torture that he dealt with before he died. Like it was on camera. Like if that's not an example of being caught red-handed, I don't know what is. But these are your official law enforcement body cams, which has not just the visual but the audio. We heard what was said. We saw what was done, and all of you are going to plead not guilty. Like this bothers me. Being a former law enforcement officer myself, it's sickening because I now see more examples of why people are leery of law enforcement, why people don't want to come out to the police as far as things that may be happening or whatever, because you really don't know on a day-to-day basis who's there to serve and protect and who's just there to treat you as a prey. I've had some very disheartening things told to me as a police officer, and I can't say I blame people. I don't trust the police, and I'm a former officer. I don't trust them. I pray every time I leave my family, every time I leave my house, every time I step out to go to work. Um, I'm armed, all the time. And God forbid, I run across the wrong type of officer. Um, I don't trust him. I don't, and it's sad, But not everybody took the oath that we took, and we swore to serve and protect and defend, and all of that stuff or whatever. Not everybody takes that literally. My job was to serve. If I can't help you, I'm not going to hurt you. And not everybody does that. You have some people that just look at it as, prey, and they're monsters, they're predators. All of them deserve to be put in prison. All of them deserve to be stripped of their pensions, their 401ks, and all of that. I believe monsters should go where other monsters are, point blank. It sickens me. It really does. Excuse me. Another topic I wanted to talk about, and I find it crazy that even though this has hit mainstream media, it's still spoken about on a very low basis. But former NBA All Star uh, Carl Malone, he's in the mainstream media for some, uh, just crazy things of his past, but one of them being when he was 20 years old, he impregnated a 13-year-old girl. Let me say that again. Back when Carl Malone was 20 years old, an adult, he impregnated a 13-year-old girl, a minor. Okay, so pedophile who gave birth to a little boy. The girl's parents didn't want to publicize the baby's birth because they were afraid jeopardizing Carl's future prospects. Now, hold on. You have a grown man who's 20 years old who somehow had access to a 13-year-old girl. Things become sexual, all right? She couldn't give consent because she's a child. Um, so that's statutory rape. He's a pedophile. He has sex with this 13-year-old girl. She conceives a child. The parents know, and because of who he is, as far as in the NBA and his future prospects, they refuse to press charges. Now, I'm not saying this in his defense in no way, shape, or form, but there's been a lot of men, especially black men, who have been accused and found guilty of this same act, these same charges. And it's been publicized, it's been blown up. Um, Things that some of these men have done, in their past, some more than, a decade, two, three, and they've been brought to justice because they've had trials criminally as well as civilly. Why isn't Carl Malone? Why hasn't he been arrested? Why have the parents not somewhat been publicized about this? They had a hand in basically sacrificing their 13-year-old daughter. Like, how could that mother or father ever look at her and tell her they love her? No, you don't. You sacrificed your 13-year-old daughter. Again, God forbid, I don't care who it is, NBA, Major League Baseball, hockey, NFL. I don't care if they're entertainer, actor, in the music business. There would be no way possible that a monster would ever come in contact with my daughter who's underage, any of my daughters who were minors, and sexually assault her, rape her, conceive a child. And I'm going to say, because of their future prospects, I'm not going to press charges. Pressing charges will be the least of his worries. He would need to be concerned about whether or not he would make it to trial. Because I promise you, myself and every firearms instructor I know, every good police officer I know, every private investigator I know, my brothers, my uncles, people that owe me favors, he would be smothered with just attention everywhere he wouldn't leave his house. He wouldn't be able to. It's no way possible you would have continued to have a career in the NBA. It's no way possible you would have lived the life of a millionaire and you sexually assaulted my daughters. Like, no, you would go find a very, very low rock and you would have to bury yourself underneath that because it wouldn't be any type of good living for you at all. Their prestige, their money would not be able to stop the wrath that I would have come against them. I find it crazy. Uh, then you had it where Carl Malone went on to deny the child once paternity of the child was proven unequivocally. Here we go. So legally, there was a paternity test which proved that he was the child's father unequivocally. He refused to provide financial support. Again, and her parents allowed this. Um, Carl Malone argued that $125 a week was too much to pay in child support, despite him earning $3 million yearly in the NBA at the time. You're earning $3 million a year, and you're saying that $125 a week is too much for you to pay. He's a scumbag. Like he's scum. Like it's crazy. Carl and his son finally met when the young man was 17 years old. Upon meeting the young man, Carl said, "It's too late for me to be a father to you. You'll have to make your own way." Huh? You sexually assault his mama, you rape her, she becomes pregnant, her family bit their tongue in stupidity, okay, for 17 years. And you meet this young man and tell him it's too late for me to be a father to you at 17. It's never too late to be a father. It's never too late. You'll have to make your own way. Um, the son's name is Demetrius Bell, and he went on to play 5 seasons in the NFL. This is ludicrous. Again, why isn't Carl Malone being brought up on the same charges as R. Kelly? You're a pedophile. You're a monster. You're a creep. You're a scumbag. I have no respect at all anymore for Carl Malone. Not at all. Not at all. Forget what he's done on the basketball court. Look at the life that he's lived. That's oh my God. And it this is it hits home because there's been lives where I've talked about a little bit about my family or whatever, but my grandfather, who was very well known preacher in the Church of God in Christ organization, he did the same thing. My grandfather, who was married for 64 years to my grandmother, well, back in the day, uh, with one of my aunts that was still in high school at the time, that was under the age of 17, um, back in New Jersey, my grandfather, sexually assaulted one of my aunt's friends. He molested her and conceived a child. And at the time, my aunt's mother was 16 when she was born. So, we know that a woman carries a child for 10 months. So you were messing with her at the age of 15. and that's no legal age for consent in the state of New Jersey. But you're preaching on Sundays. You're trying to so-called represent Jesus Christ, lead people to Jesus Christ, but you're a pedophile. You're a monster. My thing is, in the Christian world, uh, there's something that's called sin. So there's no black sin, white sin. There's no big sin, little sin. Sin is sin. It's all unrighteousness. When it comes to Jesus Christ and God the Father, all unrighteousness is sin. So you're professing, and you're trying to show yourself to be a follower of Christ on Sundays, but throughout the week, you're living a lie. My thing is, all of it. You have these monsters, these creeps, these scumbags, whoever they might be. Um, it's you know nobody respects that. It's crazy. My grandfather was never brought up on charges. He threatened my aunt's mother. Told her he would have her killed. If she tried to come against his lifestyle, his household. Um, I did get a chance to meet my aunt. I apologized to her, even though I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't born at the time. Um, well, I was born at the time, but I was very, very, because it's only a 2 to 3 year difference from myself and my aunt. But I apologized for what my grandfather, her father, had done. My dad, as well as my uncle and aunts, they don't uh, claim her as their sister. She's been totally just thrown away and abandoned. And I remember before my grandfather died, I had a conversation with my aunt, and she was like, nephew, she was like, I never wanted money from him. She was like, the only thing I ever wanted from him was for him to acknowledge who I am before he dies. And he never did it. He never acknowledged who my aunt was. And again, I find it to be terrible. You know, um, it's terrible. I love my aunt. I'm sorry for how she got here, but I appreciate her. I do have a relationship with her and her children, and I'm just grateful that she gave me a chance to acknowledge and claim who she is. That's my aunt, and I love her regardless of how she got here. But it's crazy. It's really crazy. It hits home. Um, this stuff is ridiculous. It really is. Um, I just wanted to come and talk about those. Also, real quick, we just had the Super Bowl a few weeks ago, and it made history because we had two starting African American quarterbacks, Hurst for the Philadelphia Eagles and Mahomes for the Kansas City Chiefs. Something I found to be interesting. Um, in 2020, Patrick Mahomes signed a 10-year deal with the Kansas City Chiefs for $503 million. So within 10 years, he's going to make a $500 million playing the game of football. Also in 2020, a 4-year deal was struck up in Philly with Hertz, where he signed it for $6.03 million. I'm not against people making their money. I'm not against people getting all that they can while they can, but these salary caps need to be really, really adhered to, because I think it's crazy that you could have some players, some athletes, and some of the money that's thrown at them. And, you know, I don't think that they've earned it. I don't think that they've been proven to be able to get that amount of money. If we look at it now, Mahomes has been in the league, what, 5 years? Okay, 5 years. And yes, he's won two Super Bowls, and he's got some things under his record. And to his great work that he's put in, but you know, to sign back in 2020, so we're talking 3 years ago. Who saw the value of him being a $500 million? Like I don't. Going back 3 years ago, I don't see where any type of realistic evaluation, proved that he was worth $500 million. I don't. I think that's ludicrous. That's crazy. I think some of these players, they're based on the position and based on what they've done as far as proven, as far as their resume and their records. It should be where that determines the money that you get. Is again, it's just crazy. I find it to be ludicrous, like very much so. Um, Something else that I saw, and it's crazy. Tom Brady, of course, now he's seriously officially retired. Um, I seen an article that said over his 23 years of playing in the NFL, his total earnings has been $333 million. Right? Okay, cool. Over 23 years of playing as an athlete. He has signed a contract with Fox Broadcast. So over the next 10 years of him being a broadcaster through Fox, he's going to make $375 million. I think that's crazy. You play professional football as a starting quarterback for 23 years. You make $333 million, but you retire, you sign a contract with Fox as a broadcaster, and within 10 years' time, you're going to make $375 million. It's ridiculous some of the money that these cats is given. And again, I don't think that they've all proven it. I'm sorry, I don't. It's just ridiculous. But we have homelessness and poverty, and you got folks that literally they're living paycheck to paycheck, but you have these companies, these organizations that can just waste money like that. Like how is it where basically you talking for a living, can it be warranted that you make over 10 years $375 million, but you have educators out here who's not anywhere close to six figures a year? You have public speakers that won't make that type of money or whatever. You have all types of folks who's out here who's educating people, who's talking, who has public platforms, where the communication is their field, and they don't make anywhere a fifth of that. I think it's sickening. Something else I wanted to talk about, and it's not really being discussed like that, and I have a theory of why, but all of you that may be familiar with the Church of Scientology, their leader David Miscavige uh, allegedly goes missing after a lawsuit has been brought against him for child sex trafficking. Again, I told y'all in the beginning, it's crazy out here. Whether you're in church or out of church, there's people even in the religious world that's off their rocker. That's really struggling and dealing with mental health issues. But not only that, but they don't have morals. Um, they don't have any real value to their life. But you have this man who's the founder, I'm sorry, one of the leaders of the Church of Scientology, and you build up this organization, and you're made to look so great, but you're doing child sex trafficking. And then once the lawsuit come against you, well, you go missing. Or how do you go missing? All of the money that you've stored, all of the things that you've hidden as far as assets or whatever the case would be, of course you can be found. Weinstein and so many others, that become very wealthy, Um, it's just crazy that they want to deal with kids. Like, why do you want to abuse children? It's crazy, y'all. If you haven't already subscribed to this YouTube channel, because these are some serious topics that I want to bring awareness to, and I want us to keep our eyes on them. Something a bit of a good note. Tyler Perry, um, purchased 37 additional acres of land, costing $8.4 million to expand his Atlanta studio. I am extremely proud of this. To see African American brother who's putting his muscle behind his hustle, where he's made the accomplishment of buying the old uh, military base down there in Atlanta and created a wonderful studio facility, but he's expanding. He's looking definitely towards the future, not just for right now, but he's putting in more work so he could create more jobs and put out more projects. And I tip my hat off to you, Mr. Perry. Wonderful example of someone who's dedicated, someone who's committed. And I wish you all the best where you will continue to flourish and prosper. We've got to learn as people to celebrate. When we see things that's positive, when we see things that's, um, in a perspective where it's motivating and inspiring, we've got to celebrate that. There's been something else that has been going around on the internet. I think it's absolutely foolish. But there's a woman, and she claims she's been on TikTok. And it's kind of going viral, but she claims to be the secret daughter of R. Kelly and Aaliyah. And you guys, you can Google it and go and look at it. But if you look at any picture of R. Kelly and Aaliyah, and you look at a photo of her, um, I mean, I know that doesn't mean everything, but for a child to be 50% mama and 50% daddy, she don't look like any percent of either one of them. But of course, you got head case folks who just want attention in any type way, shape or form, and they're gonna do whatever they need to do to get it. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about those few things right there. I didn't want to hold you guys up or whatever the case may be. I know everybody's busy, everybody has lives, but these are just some topics that I've been looking at, I've been paying attention to, and just wanted to bring highlight to. So we're going to keep our eyes open on some of these things. Um, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody is living their best life that they can, the quality of life. I'm going to come on next time and show you guys just some of the things that I've refocused my vision as far as short term and long term. There's some toys out there. There's some things that I'm looking at making purchases. Looking at purchasing a second home because just for work and relaxation purposes. I can't be boggled down in one place. Also, there's just some things that I want to contribute and assist in making my lifestyle a little bit better. I've been looking at one of those Sprinter vans that Mercedes has, and I found one where I like most of the design that they have, and everybody needs to have goals, and whatever your goals are, find them, screenshot, take photos of them, look at them every day, think about them, work towards those goals because that's the only way you're going to get it. Um, Regardless of what people think, blessings don't just fall in your lap. Yeah, you're blessed with life, health, and strength, or whatever, in the basics, or whatever. But things that are not considered basics, you have to work towards them. So I'm putting in that work. Definitely making sure that my health is up to par, so that once I'm blessed with these things, I can enjoy them. So, you know, give yourself daily reminders of what you're working for. Times when you can't sleep and you're up grinding. You know why you're doing it. And it's not to tell everybody, oh, I'm this, I'm that, or whatever. No, it's just to the point where, and I want to live good. So there's times where if I'm doing business and on the road, I'm going to hire me a driver to drive me around in my Sprinter. Excuse me, because I'm doing work. That's what I choose to have. Excuse me. Also, as a firearms instructor, um, I am working on my tools. There's some pieces that I'm going to talk to my firearms dealer about, that I want, that I'm going to get, um, this year. Definitely been waiting for a few things and been tracking them down and looking. Um, Also, with that second house, it's going to be a house for entertainment. So there's, some businesses that I want to align myself with, and I want to be able to invite people to the estate, because that's what it's going to be. We can have a good time. I've been in the mood recently, to do more cooking. So I've been cooking more. My family definitely appreciates it. I've been having fun with that. So I'm looking at different grills and griddles and cookware and different things or whatever. So, I'm not trying to be a chef to everybody, but, to myself and my family, they deserve it. They rock with me. They roll with me. They represent me, in their ways, and I want to represent them as well, and definitely take care of them. So I find pleasure in cooking and, coming up with different meals and different things that, I want to do. And, um, it's wonderful, to sit back and to be able to do something for people that appreciate you, and you're able to see them receive pleasure from what you do for them. So it's good. Um, I love my children, definitely. They keep me on my toes. It was good spending time with them and seeing them, and a lot of times just sitting back and dismissing work just to be dad. Just to sit and have conversations, and whether it's relationships, goals that they have as far as their careers and things of that nature, is wonderful to sit back and just be dad. I appreciate that. That's something that every male can't say that they're a father, but I love being a father. Um, is it taxing at times? Of course, but I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. So listen, if you haven't already, again, subscribe to this channel. We're going to have more conversations like this, things that's going on, whether it's entertainment, sports, trending, mainstream media. We're going to have conversations, and we're going to dissect some of these things. Some of my lives, I'll have, some inspirational moments. I'll share with you all some of the things that inspire me, some of the things that I'm working towards. I don't want to do this journey alone. I want you guys to come with me. I want you guys to be with me. There'll be times where, when I'm out of town, I'm traveling, I'll definitely go live. Some different restaurants, some different things that, I'm just doing, just to, going ahead and continue my stress free life. And I'll share it with you guys. So definitely come on over here with Access Granted with Dev Campbell. Subscribe, like this video. Make sure you share it. Um, if you guys, have some trending topics or some things you guys want to talk about, email them to me. Email is devcampbell77 at gmail.com. Again, my email is devcampbell77 at gmail.com. Email me some topics, some trending things that you want to talk about, some inspirational post or whatever that you want to talk about, and let's make it happen. So I'm about to go. so I can eat and finish enjoying my day, finish relaxing. I love each and every one of you. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. Definitely take care of your bodies. All right. Love God and love people. All right. You guys have a good day. Love y'all. Bye.